What up, my good people in the YouTube world and beyond? This is your boy B, the outlier. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to another podcast. We missed yesterday because I told you cats we do not do this walk on Tuesdays because that is my day to work from home, my people. So don't come on the show waiting for the live show on Tuesdays because we do not do it on Tuesdays, my people. We do not come on here on Tuesdays. And before we get into the show, let's just pay a couple of bills. We're going to share our goals. We also going to speak about a couple of changes in which I made and where we're going to look at for the future. So the first thing that we look at is the goals, my people. The goals. We are at close to 920 subscribers. I do want to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. So if this is something that you guys like, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And you know we got an open door policy over here. So that means that if you feel something about what I'm saying, if it hit you the right way, the wrong way, or you are indifferent, just drop a comment on that section. Let me know where you're coming from, what time it is, where you are, and what you're looking to get into for the day. The next thing is the changes that I made. I finally went back on some of my lives. I looked at the live comments, and guess what, my people? Figured out how to make people moderators. So I did that earlier this week. I made a couple people my moderators. They'll see it if they log on. I'm gonna do a couple more people. And the people who I'm gonna make moderators are people who come back, people who say interesting things in the comment section, people that are funny. I'll make you a moderator. I've also, and before I even get on that, there are honorary moderators. Once I start seeing their comments, I'm gonna give them mod status. And the two people I'm thinking about, well, three people I'm thinking about, one of the people, their last name is Griffin. He was on my check-ins last week. And earlier this week, man, he was dropping some knowledge. I think the brother's from New York. The brother or sister is from New York. I really love what they brought to the show. So I made them a moderator. Also, my boy Big Mont, he is also an honorary moderator. Next, my boy Breeze Omega, he is another one who is an honorary member. I'm gonna give those brothers memberships. Also, I've been thinking about having somebody to come on and help me out, man. A co-anchor or somebody who could come and bring a different perspective than what I'm speaking about. You guys know that I can be a nerd at times, meaning that I go by the books. And I know that about myself. That's my personality. I do want somebody who could come on, help me out with some topics, also bring a different perspective, that lived experience that we like. Somebody who's gonna speak outside of the system, outside of the system, somebody with that type of personality. Because again, I play within the coloring books, man. I play within the coloring books. And, I want to have that on live, my people. Let's read the comment section. We got somebody that came in and said hi. Linda Racing. What up? Came on and said hi. What's going on? What is going on? What's popping? So again, I do want to have somebody that could come help me anchor this thing. And I want somebody with a different perspective. We do not want someone exactly like me, man. We need to get a different perspective in on this thing. And I want to have it live, man. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. We'll talk about it. And I have you come on live. Man. And let the audience help me decide who would be a good co-balance to what I'm doing. So we said we got some people on check-in. We got Nasco U6M. He said hi. He said yes, WhatsApp. Said hi. All right, that's your name on WhatsApp? I'm gonna check you out on WhatsApp, man. See what you all about. Let me know what you're coming with. I'm preferably looking for somebody who believes in conspiracy theories. things like that. Not so much in an ignorant way, someone who has done their research on it and can actually refute some of the things that I say about conspiracy theories. I want somebody that's maybe a little bit anti-government, somebody that's anti-school system, someone that basically wants to go against the system. However, it has to come. There's caveats to that, man. You have to be intelligent when you speak. So what I mean is, we do want people who's emotional, but your argument can't be based completely on emotion, man. Nah, we can't have that. And we're not gonna have that. So we got a good episode lined up for you today, my people. A great, great, great episode lined up for you. Damn, I cut off a lot. But we're gonna speak about the fragrance of the week, which is African Leather by Mimo Paris. I also wanted to get into books because I went to that bookstore a couple days ago, and I want to speak about books and how thoughts can actually change your mind. And that was going to lead into the American schooling system. It's going to lead into the American schooling system. And this will be a perfect time for a counterbalance, because I'm going to make the argument that I believe that the American school system is good. And it's up to the person to learn. And I'll have ideas about things that help me out now that I wish I'd have paid attention to more in school. So again, a great counterbalance would be someone who would come in and show me how the American school system isn't too good for you. And if I can get into it, I do want to speak about having something to live for. Having something to live for. I speak to so many people and they're groggy in the morning. They don't like what they do at work. They want to stay all the time. And I definitely want to get in that. And we got some people on the check-in. We got Dirtbag Dustin said, looks like a bad neighborhood, brother. He said, this look like a bad neighborhood? Let's see. You think that this is a bad neighborhood? Chat, y'all think that this is a bad neighborhood? We are in Freeport, New York. Would I call this a bad neighborhood? I definitely wouldn't call this a bad neighborhood. It's 4:30. I see I'm walking freely. You don't see any riffraff on the street. You see people with nice manicured lawns, big houses. I wouldn't consider this a bad neighborhood. I mean, comparatively, anything is different. Anything is different. If you come from a place where they got $1 million homes, then you probably would consider this a bad neighborhood. But these homes these are New York prices. Again, we talking about 600, 700,000 for some of these houses back toward the water over there. You got $1 million houses by Freeport Docks. That's a spot that a lot of people go to in the summer to hang out. They have a bunch of restaurants. They have live music at times. Freeport Docks is very nice over there. Very nice over there. You also have like Oceanside area or Wantagh, Massapequa. These are all off the water. And it's definitely going to cost you to live over here. Definitely going to cost you to live over here, So we'll speak about African Leather by Mimo Paris. This is the second day of the week. I get my scents from a subscription service called Scentbox. I have a premium subscription, which means they're going to send you 3 premium fragrances a month. And again, some of these fragrances are very, very, very expensive, my people. Very, very expensive. So a subscription service will give you a travel-sized bottle, and you could basically use it for the whole month. See if you like it. If you like it, you can purchase a full bottle. I rock with it. And today, it's African Leather by Mimo Paris. I told you cats that this one, you're going to have a lot of balls. And I mentioned that not too many people really going to be feeling it depending on who you're around. So some of these scents, they're strong. And this is definitely a strong one. It's going to last you about 8 to 10 hours, man. Very, very strong. So a little bit goes a long way with this African Leather fragrance, my people. A little bit goes a long, long, long way. And if you're not in like a well-ventilated area, let's say you're on a train or a bus where it's crowded and you put a lot on you, especially if the weather is very warm or it's hot, that stuff is going to be coming off of you. It's going to be coming out your pores. And People who are sensitive to that type of thing, they may be choking out, man. You might choke them out. Same thing if you work in the office building and your cubicle is very close to another person's cubicle and they're sensitive to fragrances. This African leather will bomb them out, my people. It'll bomb them out. And some people may like the smell. Some people may not like the smell. However, this is a luxurious fragrance. Very luxurious, meaning it's gonna cost you some money to get a nice size bottle. For me, I have a travel size and I paid $90 just for that. So the bigger bottle is gonna cost you much more. We talking $250, $300 for a full bottle, my people. So make sure you like it before you buy it. And I say, test it out first. Test it out. You know, the top notes you're gonna get like cardamom, you're gonna get saffron and these types of things. And me personally, I love that smell. It's strong, it's deep. And if you like oud, oud is another fragrance that they put in there. And oud can be very off-putting depending on the type of oud that they put in there. This one there isn't too off-putting, so I like it. And again, that's African Leather by Mimo Paris. We're gonna keep rocking it, and I'm gonna give you more impressions on it a little bit later. And we got 5 people on that check-in. Hit that like button if this is what you like. I'm just a regular dude every single day walking to work, talking about life in general, my people. Yes, sir. So we're going to move on to that, and we're going to get into books. And New York City has some great books, man. Over there by the seaport, they got this little small bookstore. I forgot the name of it, but it's very nice and official. And it's very relaxing. These are hardback books, you get the hard copy. Some people, they are into getting books on their electronic devices, but I'll do that. But at the same time, I do like hard copy books because I can highlight them. You could do that on the ebook too, but I just like the feel of it, man. Something makes it concrete where you can actually touch a book, man. Just remind me of my childhood. You feel me? So I like touching the books. I like touching them and feeling them and being able to turn the pages. I like the smell of a book. I like the way a new book smells. It's official, definitely official. And I think that, for me, it sticks more when it's physical. And New York has a bunch of beautiful places. Again, over there by the seaport, you can actually get you a book, nice and cozy seat. You can sit there, read. It's not too much traffic over there in the seaport. You can look at the water. It's definitely cool, man, definitely cool. We also have another bookstore, a big bookstore called The Strand. And The Strand carries a whole bunch of used books. It is a very old and big store, my people. The owner was having issues with keeping that land and keeping that property. But you guys can check that out on YouTube. But The Strand is definitely official. The Strand gives you a feeling like you're in a different age. Like you're in the age where knowledge was basically kept away from you. And The Strand gives you the feeling of you're being a rebel. You're being a rebel with the book, man. Y'all ever have that feeling like you being a rebel? Have y'all ever read the novel 1984 with Winston and how they outlawed books and writing? The feeling that the author, I think it was Orwell, the feeling that the author gave you with that was that you was there with Winston and you was nervous when he opened the book to start writing. And it was that point, I don't want to, end it for people, but something happened to him at the end. And that I don't even know if you could call him actually opening the book what ended him. Maybe it was just the thought first. And, with the thought police, it was just the thought first that made, the Bible even speaks about that. But maybe it was just the thought that sealed the deal for him, But then again, I think about that, it can't be the thought because some people have thoughts that they never act on. So you can't call thought a crime, you feel me? So, but that book went into that type of stuff. And The Strand gives you that feeling that, you're you in medieval times or you in ancient Egypt and you got into the Pharaoh's chamber and they have books that only the elite could read and the average person couldn't read it. It definitely feels like that, man. Definitely feels like that. But That's my point, man. Books, books, books. Books are ideas, man. They're ideas. And when you look at the function of books and writing and things like that, you'll see that it's one of the best ways to pass knowledge down from generation. So will books actually become an archive of the human thought? Because prior to writing and things like that, we had to go on oral tradition. And just looking at some of the stories in the Bible, which we mentioned earlier about the start of Christianity, also the fact that Jesus' disciples didn't write too much down, it created a situation where you had different stories about Jesus going around. And you had to have councils and people start to clarify things, you know, like Paul and all of these original, the original gospels. They were answering questions from the time that the population was going through. So books most definitely carry down ideas from the generation. Somebody said, there's someone behind you. My boy Remy Jeremy said that. Somebody said, ooh, Corvavis. Let's see. Every time somebody say somebody behind me, you know I got to look. That's customarily what I do because I don't know, but we still gonna have to do it. Somebody said, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm cursing. Somebody said, what the F? Where are you at? Walking to the train station, man. Walking to the train station. I am on my way to work, people. On my way to work. It is 4:51 out here, New York, Nassau County, Freeport, a suburb of New York City, my people. So we were speaking about books, and it's a way for humans to pass down knowledge from generation to generation. So they become an archive on our thoughts. And day to day, you can read something that can change your whole outlook on life, man. Somebody said, just a question. Somebody said, is it bedtime for you? Nah, it's not bedtime. I'm actually starting my day. My brother starting my day. Yeah, so you can read a book, and a book can actually change the way that you look at life and actually change your whole worldview. And I'm of the impression that worldviews basically determine what you believe is possible in the world and how you go about day to day. And you can read something that gives you hope. And now, instead of sitting in bed and laying down, you want to get up. You want to say, oh, snap, son, this is an interesting topic. I want to learn more about that. I definitely want to learn more about that, you know? So that's my ideas on knowledge and books, because I hear a lot of young people nowadays say they don't need to read, or they'll say things like, you know, what can I learn from a book? You can actually learn a lot from a book, my people. Somebody said, early bird gets the worm. Curb 187. Crub 187. Yes, early bird most definitely gets the worm, people. Early bird most definitely gets the worm. Now, before we get up out of here, because y'all know I'm pulling up on 7-Eleven, and that's usually my time to get up out of here. Now, before we get up out of here, I'm going to give you guys some books that really changed my outlook on life, man. Because prior to about 4 or 5 years ago, you know, I was in a loop of destructiveness, my people. Drinking, alcoholism, abusing people that I love. Not in the physical sense, none of that. No physical stuff, but mentally. And I started reading self-help books, people. Now, people like Robert Greene, those type of books definitely help you. The laws of human nature. You get to step outside of yourself and see that maybe, damn, I'm just like everybody else. I'm no different. So it forces you to go back into your own actions and see that, man, you was just as hurtful as some of the people that was hurtful in your life, you know, and that maybe you need to change. I also read that book Outliers, and that actually helped me with my name that I have, Outlier B. And that book lets us know that, you know, the society that we have right now isn't built on outliers. It isn't built on outliers. It's basically built upon being in the system. Outlier by thinking within that system, but not being within, you know, the statistical gradient that everybody else is in. But at the same time, we are all built from the systems in which we come from, my people. So I'm about to get up out of here, man. I love y'all. Thank you for checking in. I'm about to go make me a coffee and get ready for work. We got some people on the check-in. Somebody said, is it raining now right now? I am trying to sleep. I got bored. Nah, it ain't raining. It ain't raining. Somebody said there's someone behind you, another person. So you now know I got to check. I always got to check. You feel me? But I'm up out of here, man. Thank you, cats, for listening. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Outlier B. I love y'all. Peace out, man. Catch y'all. Oh, yeah.